most honest thing anyone has ever said to me about climate was in the middle of a completely normal conversation between friends. We were just chatting in the hallways after class when the topic of climate came up. And someone just shrugged and said, "I mean, that's not really my future." And the conversation moved on. I've thought about that a lot. Because here's the strange part. She wasn't even being cruel. She said it in a way that people would say, "That's not my department," or "That's not my problem." Calm, unconcerned, a little bored. And I remember thinking, since when did our own future become something we could be bored about? I want to be clear. She is not the villain of this story, but she represents the most of us. Because somewhere along the way, our whole generation has learned to talk about climate in exactly that way. Informed, balanced, careful not to sound dramatic. Like we read the article, we feel bad for a moment, and we just keep scrolling. I'll admit, I also did the same thing. Right up until I went to spend the summer with my dad in Beijing. My dad works in sustainability and carbon zero initiatives, specifically in recovering water systems. He's mentioned some of his projects before and how much progress there has been. Pollution's level reduced, ecosystems beginning to recover, and I thought that was all really amazing. So during that visit, I decided to tag along when he went to check on the rivers that are part of Beijing's water recovery projects. He also brought me to some of the facilities he works at. That wastewater treatment plant has succeeded in bringing waste from rivers from around 100 tons down to 30 tons. Some of their systems use actual plants to help convert wastewater naturally into water that we can reuse for irrigation, agriculture, and growing food. All this time, I've known what my dad does. It's come up on the dining table sometimes. But to me, it was always someone else doing something else that never really involved me. That summer, my dad opened my eyes to how connected water, food, health, and environment all are. And how the things he does affects generations to come. And now the question was whether we would do it too. Back in Vancouver, back in school with the same circle of friends, it suddenly clicked that what we had been doing, what we had been feeling and acting all this time, was like concerned citizens. A concerned citizen reads about a problem, feels something, maybe shares a post about it online, and then moves on with their lives. Because they feel as though it's someone else's issue. Like there's a virtual waiting room somewhere labeled concerned citizens of planet Earth. And we're all just sat there, waiting, hoping someone will do something. But here's what's real. When it comes to climate, we are not the concerned citizens. We are the affected party. And if that sounds like legalese, It is only because by giving it those terms will we finally believe that we have rights and a voice that counts. Affected party means you are the person this decision is really about, the person whose life the outcome decides. So there's no hoping someone will do something, because you are that someone. I've decided to become that someone. I'm going into environmental sciences. Yes, you can say it's my dad, but it's also because what he has done, what's changed, and most importantly, what's possible. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell all of you to go into environmental sciences too. I know some of my own friends want to go into medicine, engineering, and business, and that's great. But I want you to know that whether you end up in forestry or finance, whether you end up in a lab or a law firm, you will still drink the water. You will still breathe the air. You will still live in the same world you are impacting right now. So I'm not going to tell you to recycle harder or feel more guilty, or that you can change the world if you just believe. You've heard that before. It does not work. I want to give you something that makes it more personal. The next time the topic of climate comes up, in class, at dinner, on a ballot, and you're about to play the concerned citizen, calm, unconcerned, careful not to sound dramatic. Don't be that person. Be the affected party. Stop pretending you are the bystander to your own life. Say the alarmed thing. Ask the inconvenient question. I still think about that friend and that sentence in the middle of that conversation. I wish I'd said something, but I didn't have the words yet. But if I could go back, I wouldn't lecture her. I would just tell her one thing. It really is your future, and you're allowed to act like it is. Thank you.